The Worldwide Nuclear Vitality Organization says it has no data around an charged Iranian atomic location that was set on fire in Trans-Shadbad Range in 2020. Welcome everybody. In today's video, we're getting to tell you Iran uncovers mystery atomic weapons more capable than Japan. This comes after an examination by Iran Worldwide found that Tran had masked an Israeli disrupt operation focusing on a surreptitious atomic location possessed by Iran's Nuclear Vitality Organization. But sometime recently, we continue assist. In the event that you're unused to this channel, keep in mind to go ahead and hit the chime symbol to subscribe so you won't miss the instructive recordings we'll transfer within the future. Iran International's in-depth investigative examination was based on veritable reports gotten from the legal and the Service of Insights. These assets were made open through Ali's Equity, an extremist organization known for frequently unveiling Iranian government data. The pulverization of the atomic location rapidly got to be a genuine national security issue for Iran in late July 2020, inciting reports to reach the Islamic Republic incomparable pioneer Ali Khamenei. Strikingly, fair weeks after the occurrence, the IAEA's chief common Rafael Mariano Grossi paid a visit to Iran, apparently ignorant of the events. Grossi arrived in Tehran after months of grinding between Iran and the CIA to secure reviewer get to the two charged ancient atomic destinations. The IAEA did not distinguish the sites, but Israeli Insights specialists distinguished one as the Abaid Atomic Weapons Improvement Location. Iran's at that point atomic head, Ali Akbar Salehi, depicted the gatherings with Grossi as valuable, inferring an unused chapter of participation between Iran and the CIA. Quick forward approximately for a long time. This month, Grossi informed the IAEA board that his organization had misplaced basic progression of information almost Tehran's programs. The IAEA held an assembly prior this month without passing a determination condemning the Islamic Republic for progressed advancement on its atomic program and refusal to participate with the IAEA. Whereas the U.S. has inquired the IAEA board to be arranged to require assist steps on the off chance that Iran's participation does not move forward impressively, it is hazy whether this most recent report will result in Iran's censor for non-compliance. The office, which was not pronounced to the IAEA, raises extreme concerns almost Iran's atomic program and its compliance with SHIELD's commitments. It too raises stresses almost the presence of other undisclosed locales and the degree to which Iran may be concealing extra atomic operations. Israel and Iran's atomic program, agreeing to legal papers, the Islamic Republic accepts the Israeli Insights benefit. Frantic was the essential guilty party of this attack operation. In spite of its doubt that Israel was dependable, Tran endeavored to conceal the disrupt. Taking after Iran International's detailing, an Israeli Prime Minister's office representative basically reacted, "No comment. Attack exercises against Iranian atomic offices are not exceptional." From 2009 to 2011, 5 individuals connected with Iran's atomic trade, who the Islamic Republic considered researchers, were killed. Iran has ceaselessly charged Israel of the deaths. On November 27, 2020, Mohsen Fakhrizadeh, the previous head of the Service of Defense's Investigate and Advancement Organization, was killed, which is seemingly the foremost obvious act of disrupt inside Iran's atomic program. Israel had distinguished Fakhrizadeh as a significant figure in Iran's atomic weapons program to a long time, sometime recently his slaughtering. The 2020 disrupt at the atomic storage facility in Shadbad, Tehran, happened almost 5 months, sometime recently, Fakhrizadeh was killed. Indifferentiate, Israel did formally claim credit for the burglary of Iran's atomic archives from a distribution center in Tehran's Shadbad neighborhood in 2018, with Benjamin Netanyahu declaring that Israel took 55,000 pages and 55,000 computerized information through an insights operation. How rapidly may Iran make atomic weapons nowadays? Iran's extending atomic weapons capabilities have been widely condemned, most as of late in a joint articulation issued on December 8 by the Joined Together States and its near European partners. 1. The event was the Iranian choice to extend its yield of 60 enhanced uranium. This degree of enhancement is a hair's breadth absent from 90% enhanced or weapon-grade uranium, which is the foremost desirable enhancement level for atomic weapons generation. That's also the improvement level utilized in Iran's atomic weapon plans, which were about idealized amid the country's crash nuclear weapons program within the early 2000s, known as the Ahmad Plan. This program was staged out in 2003 and supplanted by a littler, more scattered nuclear weapons venture, with a choice to delay them. Shockingly, Iran as of now gets it how to create atomic bombs, yet a few exercises associated to their real development stay incomplete. How would the regime's authority go around building them? How long would this take? The long shaft within the tent of atomic weapons development is about total. Iran can quickly deliver sufficient weapon-grade uranium for various atomic bombs, which it seemed not accomplish in 2003. Nowadays, it would as it were take generally a week to create enough for it to begin with atomic weapon. It might deliver sufficient weapon-grade uranium for 6 warheads in a single month and 12 after 5 months. Other key tentpoles include atomic weaponization and conveyance. Iran has a number of conveyance frameworks, counting nuclear-capable missiles, and the conveyance shaft is prepared. Weaponization is the post that requires the foremost work. It involves hypothetical calculations and simulations, the advancement, testing, and development of the other components of the atomic weapon, the conversion of weapon-grade uranium into metallic components, the integration of all components into atomic weapon, and the planning for mounting the weapons on airship or rockets, or for utilized in a full-scale underground test. This pole involves the information of the tall dangerous activating instrument, the molding and machining of tall explosives, and the development of a neutron initiator that starts the chain response at accurately the fitting time to create an atomic explosion. Iran has different alternatives for completing its weaponization needs and creating atomic weapons. The two most unmistakable ways are to attempt a rushed exertion to create a number of rough atomic bombs, or to reconstitute or total its old Ahmad nuclear atomic weapons program with the capacity to serially make numerous warheads suited for conveyance by ballistic rockets. The moment path presents a few noteworthy impediments. Iran would ought to hold mystery for an amplified period of time, a number of a long time by most gauges, whereas modifying an assortment of production-scale facilities capable of serially creating ballistic rocket warheads. This poses a chance to Iran since early discovery might result in an unforgiving worldwide reaction and bounty of time for Israel, the US, and its partners to organize a facilitated reaction. The assisted program can be completed in 6 months and would take put in much littler, more discrete settings. This method provides a more secure way for Iran to build up itself as an atomic weapon state, giving the worldwide community small time to reply. Other programs have taken after this approach, including Pakistan's fruitful exertion within the early 1980s and Iraq's in 1999-90, which was avoided by war. Saddam Hussein requested a smashed and assisted atomic weapons improvement taking after his intrusion of Kuwait in 1990. This program, whereas altogether less progressed than Iran's, was consistently progressing until the coalition bombing operation in January 1991, which devastated it without the joined-together states or its partners knowing. An Iranian FAST program would not point to develop warheads for ballistic rockets, which might take distant longer than 6 months. In any case, a rudimentary nuclear weapon would check Iran's induction into the Atomic Weapons Club as the 10th part, either drastically through an underground atomic test or clandestinely through spills about its victory. Iran's atomic weapons program will most likely point for a rocket deliverable warhead as its following step. The outer world would be cleared out to ponder how quickly it will be able to realize this capability. While the larger part of the weaponization work for a crude atomic weapon has been completed, counting the tall hazardous activating bundle, an acceptable neutron initiator, and tall unstable components, many critical employments are expected to stay for a cold test or final demonstration test of the complete atomic gadget with the weapon-grade uranium within the center supplanted by a surrogate fabric. This may be a basic point of reference. Iran was arranging to perform such a test toward the conclusion of the Ahmad arrange in 2003, in spite of the fact that it may not have done so afterward. Iran may potentially aim to assist create its neutron initiator. In any case, these chores may be done inside a number of months. Much of the work on weaponization might be tired total secrecy using existing or repurposed military offices or covered up gear and supplies, conceivably underground. Iran might indeed begin preliminary work on changing over weapon-grade uranium into nuclear weapon components right away in expectation of procuring weapon-grade uranium afterward on. It completed a critical sum of such work during the Ahmad Plan, as well as at civilian atomic offices in Esfahan over the last a long time as portion of Iran's nuclear program buildup, counting the generation of a little sum of 20% enhanced uranium metal, a material that can substitute for weapon-grade uranium. Western insights organizations may miss the beginnings of Iran's nuclear weapons program, given the complexities and tensions within the Center East nowadays. Western intelligence administrations, counting Israel's, are saddled to their limits. The early stages of a tactful, low-level endeavor to produce atomic weapons might go undetected. This implies that whereas Iran may have a 6-month plan, the joined-together states and its partners may need to react to an impressively shorter one. Since Iran has accomplished exceptionally brief breakout timelines to create weapon-grade uranium, it might hold up until month 4 of the 6-month timeline to divert its enriched uranium from Universal Nuclear Vitality Agency safeguards, a step likely to be recognized by examiners. In spite of the fact that Iran may delay the diversion's detection by a couple of weeks by denying reviewers get to the shielded locales, putting away the improved uranium, and containing the centrifuges to be utilized to Western insights agencies may have less than 2 months to react compared to a 6-month warning. With constrained alternatives for atomic bargain, the US and its allies must focus on discouraging Iran from creating atomic weapons altogether. Iran must be made completely mindful through tangible demonstrations that creating atomic weapons will result in quick, extraordinary activities by the international community, including military strikes. U.S. military cooperation with Israel pointed at wrecking Iran's nuclear capabilities should be fortified, ensuring Israel's capacity to definitively strike Iran's nuclear sites on brief. Take note in case there are signs that Iran is moving to construct atomic, as well as the capacity to deliver a moment's strike on the off chance that Iran resumes those exercises. The center ought to be to help and reinforce military capabilities with our Center Eastern partners and territorial partners, with a U.S. commitment to anticipating Iran from picking up atomic weapons and deterring Iran from reprisal. This policy is supplemented by boosting the IAEA's efforts to guarantee that Iran settle the inspector's discoveries that it has announced atomic fabric and activities in breach of its comprehensive shields ascension, which is a major component of the Atomic Non-Proliferation Arrangement. Aside from stonewalling, Iran has no contention against the IAEA's charges. The IAEA ought to proceed to compel Iran to go up against evidence that its atomic program isn't peaceful, freely voicing its concerns, sending a solid signal that Iran's transgressions are unacceptable, and separating Iran around the world. Quickening activity at the IAEA will too offer assistance to keep the Iran nuclear problem on the front pages, whereas other genuine security issues take priority. After all, Iran's possession of an atomic weapon will greatly complicate most of the other issues. That's all for today's video. The joined-together states and its allies understand how to anticipate Iran from creating atomic weapons. As the prospect of a restored atomic bargain blurs and the risk of Iran developing atomic weapons develops, this effort should speed and heightening. Do not disregard to just like the video and hit the subscribe button to dodge lost any modern recordings from our channel. Much appreciated for observing, and see you all before long.